A Machine Gunner's Tale by the N&M Project, a musical tribute to one of the greatest bot-slaying weapons of all time, goaded with the sauce, breaking it down democratic style, the HMG-206. I can't say enough good things about this weapon. It's in such a good place that, at least to my polish, not taking it makes every bot mission significantly harder. Even the autocannon feels like it pales in comparison to what the 206 can accomplish in conjunction with an ammo backpack. But I am the type to carry around said backpack anyway, just so I can offer additional supplies to the team. They're always grateful, and knowing that they've got an angel on their shoulder might mean the difference between getting back to the Super Destroyer for a stim flavored in orange creamsicle flavor, absolutely delicious, and disastrous, painful, agonizing, humiliating failure. So, the Curia gambit went off without any problems, and the fierce automaton assault on Tarsh suddenly found themselves without any supporting ships or logistics. Here's a fun fact, Helldivers. Those Devastators and other combat forms that you see on the ground, those are more like puppets being operated by server bays on automaton supercarriers in orbit. So by blapping one of these supercarriers, while the SEAF regulars fighting them reported that the bots just flopped over and stopped fighting. You probably killed a lot more bots than you thought with this little move. This is what I was talking about a few days ago. You put more of democracy's enemies in an easier position to die than you could ever kill by hand, even if it is extremely satisfying to just slaughter the clankers. It feels like sweeping my Super Destroyer's kitchen floor, just on a moral level. With these two planets secured, that gets the bots off Super Earth's front porch and pushed out of the Marspira sector, but we can't rest easy just yet. So CENTCOM deep space probes are reporting fresh bot reinforcements moving up from the Falda sector straight from the assembly lines because, apparently, they didn't hear no bell either. Oh, my sweet Liberty, this is going to be a long, peacekeeping operation. Can't we just file a motion with the Super Earth Democratic Council to declare the automaton existence illegal or something? I'm tired of this. I guess I can't complain too much. With the Mercy this close to the interior, if I wasn't pushing keto as hard as I am, I could order a pizza, and it would arrive in an orbital drop pod on the front lines in 45 minutes. But I shouldn't, so I won't. You have no idea how bad I want to break that 40-kilogram weight goal. My Crusader personal improvement aside, let's take a look at what's going on over in the TQZ. The weather forecast for Crimsica calls for mostly cloudy with a chance of ion storms later tonight, and after that, 380 artillery crashing through your hive cluster. Bug divers have been working this planet over like a talented masseuse, but just using orbital and airstrikes to really get that stress out. And the planet is nearly at 70% liberation. Let's just hope it sticks this time before something else catastrophic happens. With the Liberation Fleet moving on to Aesir paths for more automaton erasing fun, I'm going to shift the show over to education and information. And I really should have, like, an audible intro for that or something all Starship Trooper style. Would you like to know more? Tonight, I'd like to cover the three wise men of bot busting, the old reliables. The 206 isn't going to be covered on this list because I already fawned over that enough, and while it's very effective against bots in a number of situations, it's also very basic. You aim, pull the trigger, and death comes out. Not exactly a contender for trickiest weapon in Super Earth's arsenal. First on our list tonight is the classic AC-8 autocannon. Many a Helldiver has sung the praises of this mighty weapon and is one of the first things they reach for when a bot incursion is detected. Some bug divers even adore it for its versatility, though my brother and I have our own different bug-killing kits. I have also heard that the leader of Arrowhead R&D and the prisoner of Super Earth, Johann, oh sweet Liberty, I still can't pronounce his last name, somebody help me, considers the development of this weapon his personal baby, and that kind of attention definitely shows. The AC-8 fires 20mm explosive shells that are capable of making even the mighty Devastators stumble back. A single round of this to their dumbs is gonna really air out those toasty CPU chips in a big way, and with enough patience and accuracy, it can strip the chin guns off of a factory strider and pluck its eye out. But there have been reports of isolated Helldivers taking care of said striders using only this mighty weapon. By themselves. feeling that the evil machine mainframe looks at some of the stuff that we get up to and just goes, "Oh, that's just a load of borscht. What the heck?" The ever-humble AC-8 is also capable of taking care of bot fabricators at some rather extreme angles and distances. By hitting the upper part of the ventilation cover, a shell can ricochet down into the interior of the fabricator, setting off an internal explosion that just cooks the whole thing off. So, any automatons who are listening into this broadcast that suddenly had their base explode around them for seemingly no reason? This is what a helldiver 300 meters away was doing to you, and I want to offer you these soothing words of consolation. You're next. My thinly veiled death threats to the enemies of democracy aside, the Aesir also pairs wonderfully with stun grenades, and once a Hulk is immobile, it can be done away with 2 shots right to the eye. Obviously, it can pop cooling vents on tanks, though the new rocket artillery continues to be a tough nut to crack. We're still working on that. And if I kept going on about everything that the autocannon could do, we'd be here until it was time for my morning broadcast again, so I'm just going to speed this along. The next weapon is more of a thinking man sniper, the APW-1 anti-material rifle, or just AMR. It follows a similar shtick to the autocannon, just that its rounds do not explode. They just penetrate their target and come out the other side in a really damaging way. It has a 7-shot magazine plus 1 in the chamber, and you can take 6 spares with you, giving you less ammunition than the autocannon's 100, but it frees you up to take a backpack with you. However much that really means to you depends greatly on your combat style, but some have sworn by the AMR shield backpack combo for bot operations. I've run that build at times before and found it serviceable, but really lacking in the oomph factor that harder deployments tend to call for. Just like the AC-8, the AMR can pop Hulk eyes, destroy cooling vents, humiliate Devastators by making their heads go explode, and blow Berserkers in half. It's just a really well-made gun. No complaints here. The last weapon I want to cover on the show tonight is a controversial choice. And I have seen this question on the GWW discussion boards many, many times. Is the railgun good? Yes, absolutely, 100%. Oh my sweet liberty. It is one of the fastest ways to dispose of large groups of Devastators that doesn't involve calling out a Super Destroyer's artillery to do some landscape remodeling. First, never use safe mode. In fact, the railguns on the Mercy have been modified to have safe mode removed. It only serves to delay proper use of your weapon for a fraction of a second every deployment, and whenever you forget, leave you wondering why your intended target is still alive. Unsafe mode is only a danger to new divers who are not yet aware of how the weapon works. Once you've had it explode in your hands and figure out how long you can hold a charge before being blown into SpaghettiOs, I don't think it's a common enough occurrence to really be worried about. I'm sorry to say this, and Liberty forgive me. Having your railgun explode from overcharging is a skill issue. Oh, holy mother of Mater's democracy, I feel so dirty. But yes, unsafe mode for the win. But why, you may ask? Because even a shot with a moderate amount of charge is capable of utterly ruining a Devastator, and you don't need to aim for headshots either. Pretty much anywhere in the upper torso area is going to hit that motherboard so hard that his upper and lower body are going to go in different directions. Unlike the previous 2 weapons, the railgun is capable of taking care of Hulks in 1 shot right to the eye. And with recent advances to the supercapacitors, it can pop a gunship's engine in 2 shots. And I think we can all agree that those flying toasters really suck. It does, however, struggle with cooling vents because of its hyperpenetration issues. That means it just pierces one side of the target and comes out the other, doing minimal damage. This is opposed to the AMR, whose rounds travel much more slowly than a hypervelocity tungsten round, and they tend to fragment inside of a target after the initial penetration and do heaps of internal damage. So it's a little quirky in that the armored front of the Hulk's eye is actually the easier target when using it. Similarly, it struggles with berserkers who have redundant engineering built into them to maximize their durability and the chances of closing the gap with those meat saws. So while the railgun is capable of handling many threats more quickly and easily than practically anything else on Super Earth's menu, there's just as much that it can't handle. Like, at all. I have also heard that it can take down factory striders and bile titans, but geez, I've never managed that. That's been Liberty's latest with me, Pondera, the radio angel. What did you think of my take on the three wise men? Agree? Disagree? Are you someone who found their way to my channel by accident and have no idea what's going on? Leave me a comment with your thoughts. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy, and for Super Earth.